Ladies and gentlemen of the United Kingdom,
I will run you through.
my name is Andrew Tate. I'm the leader of the Bruv Party.
And they're like, oh, we can't duel. I don't have a sword. You're a full-grown man. You ain't got a sword.
And I'm here to introduce myself to you as the only hope and chance for the once Great Britain to repair itself
So I'll walk around with a sword because I'm unconventional.
from the eternal decline we are unfortunately being subjected to.
Okay, so in case you don't know who Andrew Tate is, here's a quick recap. He's a former kickboxer and MMA fighter who then went on to become a sort of like right-wing online influencer. My understanding is that he and his brother allegedly were living in Romania, where they were basically like luring women to become cam girls and then stealing all their money. Basically, they were like cyber pimps. Oh, and then on the side, again, I say allegedly, Andrew Tate was selling like online courses to 13-year-old boys who'd stolen their parents' credit cards, teaching them how to be like him. Then he somehow got arrested for sex crimes by the Romanian government, which, I mean, like half the economy in Eastern Europe is sex trafficking. So I don't know how, like, you got to really be trafficking a lot of sex to make a name for yourself in that space. Anyway, I think he was out on bond. And now, thanks to the Trump administration, I believe he's back in the United States. But the other day, he put out this video announcing that he is planning to run for Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So we're going to take a look at what Andrew Tate's vision for the United Kingdom is. He also released a full like party platform and list of his promises and his vision for the future. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic. First, we'll take a quick look at his speech, and then we'll dig into what it is that Andrew Tate thinks needs to change in the United Kingdom under his leadership.
I'm extremely rich and very successful. And although this has not brought me much happiness or any new friends, it has certainly increased the variety and capability of my enemies.
You know, the picture he paints of being rich and successful is a pretty miserable one. I think that if being rich and successful doesn't make you happy and leads to you having no friends but only enemies, I think I'd rather be poor.
They have locked me in Romania for over 3 years. The UK Foreign Office instructed the Romanians to do exactly this on false charges that even Romanian courts now are admitting were completely fabricated because they fear my influence.
I think they fear your influence on 13-year-old boys who've stolen their parents' credit cards, and that you're creating a potentially a new generation of sex offenders who want to get rich pimping women so that they can then be miserable, I guess.
And they fear my influence because the United Kingdom has been hijacked by Satanists who have absolutely no concern for the people they are supposed to work for. They work for big banking interests and they ignore their constituents absolutely.
Is he talking about Reform UK? Nigel Farage's party?
There is currently nobody within the political class which will do the things which are necessary to repair our once great country.
You know what's so jarring about Tate and the way he speaks is like, I know he's got American citizenship, and in fact, I think he was born in DC, but he's also British. However, when he talks, it sounds kind of like Vin Diesel trying to do a British accent, but then forgetting every other word that he's supposed to be doing it. So it's just this very weird, like every third word has a slight like British tinge to it, but then he goes right back to this like very flat American declarative way of speaking. The other thing that's so off-putting about him is that like his mouth moves too much, but the rest of his face like never moves while he's talking. So it's like he's wearing a mask of his own face that like cuts off just below the nose or something. Very, very, very weird.
There is no reason for a city with a legacy like London to be running with blood and for drugs to constantly be found on our streets.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Andrew. You know, the thing about cities is that they're never violent and there are never any drugs. If you want to join like MS-13 or the Bloods or the Crips, go to like Boise. Or like if you're looking for really, really good cocaine, just go to a farm.
They're going to laugh at my attempt to become prime minister. They're going to do their very best to delegitimize me. They're going to say that I'm not serious, that I don't stand a chance of winning. Exactly like they did to Donald Trump at the beginning.
Yeah, Andrew, they're going to laugh at your attempt to become prime minister because, okay, a couple of things about how you become prime minister, just in case you don't live in a parliamentary democracy. The way that it works is first, you have to not be in Romanian sex prison. That's the main one. Second, you have to be the leader of a political party. Third, that political party has to have enough seats in the House of Commons to command the confidence of the House so that you can form a government. So just like, I guess, borrowing somebody's green screen and making a YouTube video while you're on bail from Romanian sex prison and I believe now resident in the United States, is not going to be seen as a serious attempt to become prime minister.
These people do not understand that the world is changing. The youth is with us. And with time, as these people grow old and die, and the youth stays mobilized, we can take our countries back. You don't have to like me. This is beyond the politician. This is about the politics. You can hate me with all of your being. But even if you hate me, I guarantee you your streets will be safer. I guarantee you the invasion will end. I guarantee you our economy will be more prosperous. Those who love me and hate me alike will benefit from my leadership as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
You know, this is maybe a little obscure, but you know who Andrew Tate reminds me of? If you ever played the Command and Conquer games, he reminds me a lot of Cain.
I am Cain. When I get your troops back from the States, I want you to take what men you have left and secure this abandoned GDI base.
Except that Cain actually had a path to power and was charismatic. Okay, that's a good place to stop looking at his video because it just kind of goes on and on like this. Let's take a look at the actual platform and the philosophical underpinnings of his new political party, which he's called the Bruv Party, which stands for Britain Restoring Underlying Values. So right off the top, one of my personal favorite dumb guy things is reverse engineering acronyms. I mean, you could call it the Dude Party, destroying undue divisive evil. Nailed it. Okay, so if you go to the Bruv Party website here, you get this page where you immediately want your personal information. No, thank you. And you have an option to download the charter or look at the core values. So let's take a look at the core values first and see what the hell that means. Okay, so core values takes us to what I guess is just his regular website and to a page called 41 Tenets, which, ooh, that's a lot of tenets. Oh, great. We're getting updated on people who are buying the real world and escaping the matrix. I guess that's his book, maybe? I don't know. I'm not an expert on Andrew Tate. I'm just here for the lulz. Okay, so he's got 41 tenets, and I guess these are his core values. I believe that men have the divine imperative to become as capable and powerful and competent as possible in this life. Okay. I reserve the human right to hold my own beliefs and practice them. Yeah, okay, well, that's fine. Good. I prefer loving, rewarding, consensual relationships with beautiful, positive, and virtuous women. I prefer them. I am willing to consider unrewarding, non-consensual relationships with skanks. Okay, tenet number 4. I believe men and women are different. Yeah, women be shopping. Each has their own unique and important strengths and abilities. Okay, right. I believe men have the sacred duty to protect and provide for the important people in their lives. Oh, okay, yes. I believe men have the sacred duty. He's just going to use the same fucking stock phrases over and over again, isn't he? To protect the innocence and sanctity of their children and reserve the right and responsibility to raise their children as they see best to ensure their long-term happiness and success. Well, yes and no, Andrew. I mean, you can't just do whatever you want with children. I mean, the things that some people think best for their children are objectively horrifying, no? I believe that men have the sacred duty to raise strong, capable, and honorable... Yes, that was covered. Oh, good. People in South Africa are escaping the matrix. That's good. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, this is just the same shit, except that now it's focusing in on men. A lot of this is really like, I mean, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that he begins like one of the first tenets is like, women are great too, but like all of this is now about my vision of men and how men need to be. Very cool. I believe that men have the sacred duty to raise kind, feminine, and virtuous daughters. This creepy word virtuous. Like what does that actually mean? Do you mean like a daughter who does exactly what you say? I mean, she has to be feminine. She can't be, I don't know, a tomboy or like a butch lesbian or transgender. Surprise, surprise. I utterly disapprove of violence within romantic or familial relationships. That's a really good point. Violence belongs in non-romantic relationships. What you really want to do is keep the violence outside of the home. I support good and honest governments, and I will obey only their laws. Well, Romania would disagree, but I like this. I decide what a good and honest government is. Me personally, how I feel about the government determines whether it's good and honest. And I will obey the laws only if I consider the government to be good and honest according to me. I mean, if everybody thought that way, you know, like half of people would just be able to say, you know what, fuck the law. I don't like the government, so fuck the law. I prefer to only conduct business dealings with trusted and vetted brothers. I don't know what that means, but I also love the prefer. Like there's like this whole like ironclad tone that he has about everything that he says that makes it really funny when he very forcibly says that he prefers something rather than that like it's a strict code that he follows. I don't know. Tenet 12, basically you should be true to your word. Okay. I believe that a man's life is difficult, and he has the sacred duty to become strong to handle such difficulty. I don't know, dude. Seems to me like some people's lives are pretty fucking easy. But again, it just he manages to keep saying the same thing over and over again. But what's really impressive is that he does it while using the same stock phrases like sacred duty, like constantly. It actually is a gift. The ability to say nothing like 40 different ways while still using the same language over and over again. Like bravo. I love these pictures. They're so good. Like, I just like to imagine Andrew Tate paying someone to follow him around with a camera, just taking pictures of him smoking cigars, counting piles of money, posing in these faux candid topless shots on yachts, pretending to fly on private jets, etc. It's great. It's just great. Okay, I believe in emotional control and the vital need to become disciplined and professional in all things. Fucking repetitive. You've already said that you think men are responsible for self-improvement, for responsibility for their actions and results. Oh my God. I believe that men have the sacred duty to approach everything in life from a position of strength. Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, when you're starting out, if you're going to be this great self-made titan of a man, surely where you're starting from is nothing, and you're not starting from a position of strength. You're starting from a position of weakness, and you have to lift yourself up through your own ambition and hard work. No, I guess this is really just about having the attitude that Andrew deems to be appropriate for a man, which is to act smugly superior and like you have nothing to lose in all circumstances. Tenet 19, I seek to improve my personal freedom to think, act, and no commas. How about you exercise your personal freedom to use a fucking comma, Andrew? To think, act, and live true to my masculine imperative in all ways. My masculine imperative. Look, man, I understand that the reason why people like Andrew Tate have an appeal, especially to young men, is that there's like a crisis in masculinity where, in the past, men could aspire to earn enough money that they could get married and have a family, provide for their family, make sure that their kids got an education, had a good shot in life. And now, because everything's so fucking expensive and wages are basically stagnant, men in particular, feel like they can no longer fulfill the role of being the provider for a family that their fathers and grandfathers did. And I think that's led to a whole bunch of fucking weird consequences. But this like super aggressive, like very performative, I'm a man and I have an imperative shit is just so fucking pathetic and desperate. And like, I don't know, when I see someone who talks this way, I just think that there must be something deeply, deeply insecure about them. It makes you look pathetic. Oh God. Oh no. I believe each man has a sacred duty to mold his physical body into the strongest, more resilient, and not most resilient, more resilient. Andrew, could you please fucking edit this shit and use commas? into the strongest, more resilient, and most capable version of itself possible. Again, picking up on what I said about the masculinity shit and the crisis of manhood that I think is evident. This like obsession with the male body, I don't know, man. It rubs me the wrong way. It's really, really weird. Like, I'm not shitting on people who are like, yo, I want to go to the gym. I want to improve myself. I want to eat better. I want to sleep right. I want to stop drinking or smoking or doing drugs or whatever it is. I don't want to stop doing any of those things. But if you do, I support you. But like, I don't know, just this obsession with the body as this instrument that must be refined and mastered and purified. It's fucking weird, dude. It's fucking weird. Okay, 10 to 21. I believe that men have the sacred duty to rigorously train themselves both physically and mentally every day. You've said this like 6 times. Is this just an excuse to share another picture of you in a Speedo that is not impressive? Holy fuck, dude. We're only halfway through this shit. I believe that I have the sacred duty to only eat the highest quality foods possible to maintain my health, vitality, and masculine virility, as opposed to feminine virility. Okay, I believe that I should eat right. There, I fixed it for you. I simplified that. Next. 10 at 23. I reserve the right to protect the sanctity of my bloodstream. The sanctity of my bloodstream. And make my own decisions about my medical care and procedures. Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was talking about like the sanctity of my blood, my lineage, or something like that. No, he's saying I reserve the right to not take vaccines. This it's just the way the super serious way these guys refer the sanctity of my bloodstream. I didn't know that your hemoglobin was sanctified, Andrew. Forgive me. I guess I haven't been paying you the proper respect. Everything's sacred and sanctified, and everything's a right or a duty. Holy fuck! They're just so pretentious. Like it really is something to be both stupid and pretentious at the same time. It's magic. 10 at 24. I affirm the importance of endlessly improving my Yes, okay, we get it. You're into self-improvement. Holy shit, dude. Okay, 10 to 25. I believe in acquiring wealth and abundance in order to improve my life and do good for those I care about. Well, but Andrew, when you announced that you're running to be prime minister, didn't you tell us that you basically have no one who you care about? You have nothing but enemies and wealth hasn't made you happy? What a pathetic portrait of a person. People always say this, money can't buy you happiness. Well, if it can't buy you happiness, then what the fuck is it for? What the fuck can it buy? What is there worth buying other than things that make you happy? You fucking idiot. 10 at 27. I believe that masculine brotherhood is essential to men's mental health, happiness, and success, and that commas are not important. Just joking. And I relentlessly encourage men to meet together, train together, and work together. You know, it would be really easy for me to be like, oh man, this is some fucking gay shit again. But no, like, yeah, you know, it's men should be friends with other men. It's good to bond together and work together. There's nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that we know the context in which he's talking about it, which is his obvious belief that men are like potential. Every man is a potential god who could ascend to godhood if he I don't know, embraced kickboxing, MMA, and pimping women on the internet. I maintain the trust of my brothers through reverent silence regarding our most sacred shared experiences. Okay, I know. I just said that it's like low hanging fruit to talk about how fucking like homoerotic this and simultaneously homo and transphobic all of this stuff is. Like, what the fuck are you? What are you talking about? Like, okay, maintaining trust with your friends. Yeah, for sure. Reverent silence regarding our most sacred shared experience. What the fuck could that possibly mean? I'm genuinely struggling. Like, do you guys do like skull and bones rituals where you like fuck the mouths of dead pigs or something? Like, what sacred shared experiences do you have? All I do with my friends is fucking drink and yell at the television. What the shit are you guys doing? Okay. Tenet 29. I believe in honoring my ancestors and living in a way that would make them most proud of me today. Fuck that. Look, here's a hot take. I don't give a shit about my fucking ancestors. I know that a lot of people are interested in this stuff, like, oh, my family came from here and my great grandmother made twine. Like, I fucking, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, these people who, like my ancestors from 200 years ago, if they could meet me, would fucking hate me, and I would fucking hate them. We have nothing in common. Like, living according to the things that your ancestors would want. Like, who gives a shit about what a bunch of dead ghosts want? Fuck them. Okay. Tenet 30. I reserve the right to administer difficult rites of passage for our young men to allow them to earn the rank of man. Oh boy, red flag. Oh no, Andrew, I don't think that's a very good argument. Hey, please let me out of Romanian sex prison so that I can decide when boys become men. Oh, this is the craziest one yet. I reserve the right to administer difficult rites of passage. That's not a right that you have. That's not anywhere written that you get to decide when young men have earned the right to be full adults. That's, oh my god, that's fucking weird. Like, what? uh I was going to describe what I think that might entail, but that's I'm going to leave that to your imagination. That's fucked up, dude. Okay. 31. I affirm the importance and need for travel and adventure as men. Okay. Yeah. Also love the picture of you pretending to fly in a private jet. Amazing. That's another gold star. Favorite thing that dumb guys do. I love that. Okay, 32. I seek to help men overcome poor mental health through embracing hard work, physical improvements, the use of the comma, and shared masculine brotherhood. Okay, I mean, whatever. I'm not going to quibble about that. That's not particularly weird. Whatever. 33. I reserve the right to make the best choices I can at the time to protect my self-respect and mental health. Yeah, dude, you're in charge of your own life. Like, you do know that, right? This isn't a novel idea. It's like, when you move out of your parents' house, you legally become an adult, and you take charge of your own life. You get to associate with the people you want. You get to pursue the hobbies you want. You get to decide, fuck this, I don't like my job, I want another one. This isn't part of some transcendent political philosophy. It's just being a fucking adult. Okay. Tenet 34. I do good in the world and seek to help those less fortunate than myself, he said, lighting a giant $50 cigar. Cool. 35. I believe all men have the responsibility to lead and guide those they care for to greater health, prosperity, and happiness. You do not. You do not have that responsibility nor that right. The people you care for, unless they're minor children, get to make decisions for themselves, and you can tell them what you think, but you don't get to guide them to greater health, prosperity, and happiness, because they're individuals, right? Right? Tenet 36. I choose to only interact with those who are respectful and civil in return for my own respect and civility. Yeah, dude, if somebody's an asshole, don't associate with them. This is why I think all this shit, like, I don't really know. And again, I'm not an expert on Andrew Tate, but all of this shit has to be for like 14-year-old boys, right? Because like any self-respecting adult understands that, like, if someone disrespects you, just don't deal with them. Just fucking walk away. Have a spine. Like, this isn't some kind of like inspirational mantra that should need to repeat to yourself over and over again. Okay. 37. I reserve the freedom to speak and refer to others as I believe is best and most truthful. Translation: I decide what gender you are, and I will refer to you in the manner that I think is best because I am the ultimate authority on everything. All of the like the pretense that this is about individual rights and responsibility. No, it's about a man who wants to believe that his own willpower is so impressive, so great that it should shape the entire world around him, and everything and everyone should bend and bow according to his wishes, rather than live as independent free entities. This really is a look inside the mind of a man who cannot bear the thought that other people are his equals and he should treat them as such. And by people, I mean women. Okay, Tenet 38. I reserve the right to choose my company and include only those whom I believe are best for my health. Again, blah, blah, fucking blah. Okay, Tenet 40. I choose to only allow myself to be influenced by those who I believe... Same fucking shit. I only want to associate with people who are positive. Yippity fucking yay. Great. And Tenet 41. Each day I dedicate myself anew to create the greatest possible positive impact in the world and do the work necessary to achieve a greater masculine excellence across all realms of human endeavor. All right, we finally come to the end where, like, the first couple of slides, it's like, yeah, women too. Like, you should raise women who are kind, and, boys should be strong and powerful and dominant, and women should be kind and feminine and submissive. But women are cool. Women have their own fucking positive attributes, just like men, and we should nurture and value those. And finally, at the end, we come to no, like, basically, my objective is to build the most masculine world possible where testosterone dominates everything. And I'm doing that because I'm a normal, well-adjusted man who's totally secure in his masculinity. Okay, so these are the 41 tenets. I don't know if this has anything to do with Andrew Tate's political party, but that's just in case you were curious what Andrew Tate, what top 41 thoughts just keep rotating through Andrew Tate's brain like one of those 7-Eleven hot dogs. This is what it is. Okay, now for the main event. Let's take a look at the Bruv Party's charter, which we can download here. Okay. A call to restore Britain. All right, sweet. Right off the bat, I love that this platform, which is, let's see, it's 20 pages. Okay. It's full, absolutely chock full of dog shit AI images. And also each one of these pages appears to be about 50 to 70 words. So great. Okay, we're not going to read the preamble. We know what this is. All right, so the first thing that Andrew Tate wants you to know with this, I guess, is this an AI-generated image of, is this supposed to be D-Day? Surely not. I don't know. Who knows what it is? It's AI. Okay. He is very angry about immigration. The solution is clear. Not one more boat lands on British soil. Boats will be leaving the UK filled with illegal immigrants, and not a single one will be arriving on our shores. The Royal Navy will patrol our waters, and our message will be clear. If you come here illegally, you will not set foot on this land. And then we have, okay, great, a bunch of all caps stuff. British men died for British soil. Actually, I think a lot of them died for French soil. It's not yours, and you have no right to it. You cannot take our dirt. It's not a line on a map. It is an island defended with the lives of the brave. If you get on a boat, we won't let you in. We have no obligation to save you from that boat, no matter how rough the sea. Okay, this is the really fucking ugly part, which is if you're an illegal immigrant trying to sail on a rickety-ass boat across the English Channel to get to the United Kingdom, and we see you drowning, Andrew Tate is just going to let you drown. But also by saying no boats will reach shore, that it really sounds like he's just going to have the Royal Navy sink boats that he thinks contain illegal immigrants. Okay, part 2, knife crime. Zero tolerance, maximum deterrence. So if you don't know, in the UK, because it's like impossible to get a firearm legally, what they have a lot of problem with is knife crime. So this is going to be a big part of Andrew Tate's premiership. He says here, the punishment will be seen by every Briton every day. Introducing BBC punishment. Is that a new channel of the BBC, Andrew, or is that a new porn that you're producing? Oh, God. BBC Punishment, a 24/7 live broadcast of knife crime offenders serving solitary confinement. So he's He's going to put people who commit knife crime in prison for life, I guess, and in solitary confinement. And then he's going to put them on television 24/7 so that people can watch some guy convicted of a knife crime in his cell in solitary confinement. You're going to watch kids gather around the television. We're going to watch convicted knife criminals piss, shit, and jerk off in their prison cells 24/7. Are you gonna put a camera in the prison shower too, Andrew? I feel like that would be the only part, or maybe we can watch them like walk around in those tiny fucking cages where people who are in solitary get to go and have recreation an hour a day just to break up the monotony. Holy fuck, amazing. That would be a hell of a reality show, though, wouldn't it? Just like no, we're just streaming live footage of whatever's going on in prison. Imagine a 15-year-old boy. Oh, I bet you are, Andrew. Tempted to pick up a blade, turning on the TV and seeing a man grow old and die alone. That's not cruelty. It's deterrence, and it will save lives. I don't think that a lot of 15-year-olds are going to be. I don't think this is going to be must-watch TV for them. Watching BBC Punishment. Holy fuck! Now I'm just imagining like every day in school for an hour, and Prime Minister Andrew Tate has mandated that all students will watch BBC Punishment. It's fucking nasty. Oh my god. Okay. Reforming the BBC. He's thinking more about BBC. That's good. That's good. Reforming the BBC, a rotten institution. Okay, yes, BBC has had sexual abuse scandals, allegations of child exploitation, reports of pornographic content. Everybody, Andrew Tate is angry that the BBC may be showing pornographic content. Don't you know that that's against his Christian values as a man who made millions of dollars allegedly running sex trafficked cam shows in Romania and then marketing personal improvement courses on the internet to teenage boys? He's worried about sexual abuse, child exploitation, and porn. The BBC will be stripped down and rebuilt. Its mission will be factual reporting, not propaganda. BBC will get its topics from X and have a community notes style online system for verification of all stories. So, no. What we really want is for the BBC to be factual reporting. So what we're going to do is we're going to force them to get all of their news from Twitter. Yeah, nowhere on earth can you find such a collection of members of the fact-based community as you'll find on Twitter. Holy fucking shit. It's amazing. The BBC will have a public trust score based on its accurate reporting of events and voted on by the public. This is so incredible. And again, so fucking indicative of how these people's brains work. His idea, propaganda is whatever he doesn't like. The truth is whatever people on Twitter vote that they think is true. It's not about investigation or like what can you prove or like, hey, it doesn't matter whether you like it. It's a fact. No, we're going to determine what facts are by doing polls on fucking Twitter. Amazing. Okay, next section. Protecting our children and restoring traditional values. This is okay, fucking look at this shit. Look at the AI image and can we restore traditional fucking spelling? Responsibility, family values. Also, what kind of fucking this looks like the classroom at some kind of like school run by a cult. There's like a couple holding hands here. Then over here there's like teachers. None of the students are paying attention to fucking anything that's going on. They're just like all wearing identical clothes. This is so like this is an perfect AI generated image of what an ideal world looks like to a fascist. This is what it is. Misspellings and all. fucking amazing. This is one of the good things about AI is people can just like prompt it and it'll just show you what their fantasies are. Brilliant. Do you know that children as young as 6 are being exposed to graphic LGBTQ plus materials? But they're being exposed to, Andrew, is the fact that gay people, lesbians, bisexuals, transgender people exist, and it's not okay to bully them just because they're different. That's what they're being exposed to. Some people call that education. You call that child grooming. And the only cure for child grooming is BBC punishment. Okay. All LGBTQ plus propaganda will be banned from schools. That means when they say this, what they mean is all reference to the fact that people who are not straight or cisgendered exist will just be removed. We're just going to act like they don't exist. We will promote traditional family values, respect, responsibility, and the importance of strong family bonds. See, again, it's not even that they're like, we want to have a neutral environment where we're not encouraging people to pursue one lifestyle or another, which is not the way that I would frame it, but whatever. At least there's some consistency in that. No, they want to have their propaganda. They want to have this classroom where the mommy and the daddy are holding hands. Why are there like 4 teachers here, by the way? Are they teachers or are they just members of the community? Anyway, they want to have this perfect homogenous classroom where they can promote their values, which are fascist and insane. Okay, next section, restoring British culture. It's time to restore pride in our heritage. Appoint a minister for British culture to... Wait a minute. I believe there is a Secretary of State for culture. It's culture, media, and sport. Yeah, that exists. To celebrate and preserve our history. Cap non-British residents at 10% of the population. Okay, what? Non-British... I don't know what he means by that. I mean, who is a non-British resident? Is he just talking about people who are not citizens living in the country? Is he just saying we want to make sure that only 10% of the population is not white? Is that what he's trying to say? I don't know. Who does he consider to be British? Unclear. Replace modern art with statues and monuments honoring British heroes. Britain doesn't have enough old statues. That's the main problem that they're facing today. Ensure every street in Britain feels British with English signage, flags, and traditional architecture. See, again, the AI is so fucking horrible, but it is also hilarious. This is what he wants, I guess, is like the old Tudor houses and like 5,000 Union Jacks and a big old statue and a red telephone box like they have in the movies. Like town criers and like a troop of redcoats marching through and some dragoons on horses. Like every street needs to feel British. It doesn't feel British. Revolutionizing education. Again, I keep being drawn to these fucking AI images. They're so fucking bad. You've got this like weird like Edwardian steampunk background where there's like old-timey architecture, but also like modern like skyscrapers and windmills, and the children are learning about entrepreneurship. And then it says critical thinking, and then way down here it says literacy. I love it. Literacy and entrepreneurship, the 2 pillars of education. And fucking again, you can see there's a little, oh my God, there's a little like telephone box down there in the corner of the image too. This is so perfect. Okay. He wants to overhaul the national curriculum to prioritize entrepreneurship, critical thinking, and financial literacy. Arm young Britons with the skills to launch businesses, pioneer technologies, and dominate the global stage. Okay, he's a classic like futurist tech bro fascist, basically, who thinks that the only thing that children should be learning in school is to be entrepreneurs. He says the word critical thinking, but he doesn't know what it means. He wants to create a generation of tech bros. He has that in common with a lot of people who both are and are not fascists. Healthcare for Britons first. Oh my God, there's actually no typos that I can see in this AI image. Good job, AI. Wow. Okay. The NHS is in crisis. You don't know the NHS is Britain's National Health Service. And yes, it's in shambles. Okay, so he's going to change it by reprioritizing who gets health care. Are you ready? Priority 1, British taxpayers. The people who fund the NHS should come first. Priority 2, British passport holders, those who carry the privilege and responsibility of citizenship. So when he says priority 1, British taxpayers, he doesn't mean like ordinary people. What he means is that if you're rich and you pay a lot of taxes, which he doesn't believe in and doesn't think you should have to do, you get better healthcare. You're priority 1. If you're a citizen who doesn't have any money, who's not rich, just an ordinary person, you're priority 2. He wants a multi-tiered healthcare system, is what he's saying. Priority 3, everyone else. Emergency care only with costs recovered wherever possible. Okay, so doctors are not going to just help you if you are a foreigner and you need help. Say you have like a heart attack or something and you pass out and they take you to the hospital. You're only receiving the bare bones minimum care under Andrew Tate, and then you're going to get billed for it. Great. Accountability in government. Did you know that over 30% of MPs fail to meet basic attendance standards? Yeah, this is a real problem. Also in the UK, MPs can just like have second jobs and like just be getting paid by companies that they're supposed to be regulating. It's pretty fucking unbelievable over there. You don't show up, you're out under Andrew Tate. Well, they're going to have to put more seats in though, because actually there's not nearly enough seats in the British House of Commons to seat everybody who's an MP. That's why when it's full, you'll see there's like all kinds of MPs who are like, it's standing room only. Okay, zero tolerance on crime. We'll put 25,000 plainclothes officers in London alone. Violent offenders will face the full force of the law, and police officers will meet strict physical standards. Look, Prime Minister Andrew Tate is personally going down to the police station. He's going to strip every single bobby, and he's going to personally inspect their bodies to make sure that they are fulfilling their sacred duty to perfect their masculinity, okay? A transparent and fair tax system. Yeah, a lot of people want this. We're like, hey, let's make the tax system simple enough that like you don't have to hire a fucking lawyer or an accountant to wade through it for you. No hidden pitfalls or penalties for getting richer. Success will be rewarded, not penalized. What do you mean? That you're gonna pay lower taxes the more money you make? That doesn't make any fucking sense. And if the rich people don't pay as much taxes as the poor people, should they be priority 2 in your 2-tiered NHS system? Oh my God. Restoring masculinity and strength. He's got a masculinity section. The foundation of a thrive. Oh my God. What the fuck is going on with this AI image? In the background, it looks like a full-grown man is about to punch a little boy. In the foreground, you've got this little boy with his gloves on. And then behind him, there's some kind of like, I don't even know what the fuck that guy is wearing, a bowler hat. Is he a cop? What the fuck is this? Again, the obsession with boys to men, let's put it that way. Weak men build weak nations. Britain's decline is rooted in a culture that has forgotten the value of strength, discipline, and resilience. Again, weak men build weak nations. Men, always men. And the issue is that the men are not manly enough. We've got to get them manlier. If men's bodies were stronger, the nation would be strong. This is like the I don't know how else to fucking say it, the homoerotic underpinning of what fascism is. Boxing and wrestling in schools. Dude, they have boxing and wrestling in schools. If you're in school, you can box and wrestle. Are you just going to like force kids to fight? Like what if they can't or don't want to? No, fuck it. You're learning to box. You're learning to kickbox and you're learning MMA because those are the things that made Prime Minister Andrew Tate great. Licensed armed security. A nation that can't protect its streets can't protect its future. By making licensed armed security accessible, we will ensure. Oh my God, he wants to make it like medieval times, where like every individual lord has their own like personal retinue of knights. He wants people to be able to hire their own private security, and he thinks that will make Britain safer. Holy fuck! A stronger future for Britain. Oh my God, this is a Bitcoin section, isn't it? A national Bitcoin reserve. He wants to have a national Bitcoin reserve. In an unpredictable global economy, traditional financial systems are vulnerable to manipulation and collapse. A national Bitcoin reserve will future proof Britain's economy. Dude, didn't Bitcoin like fucking collapse yesterday and lose $1 trillion of value? Holy shit. Look, I don't want to get into an argument about whether cryptocurrency is a good idea or not. Personally, I don't think it is. I know some people do, but it's certainly not fucking stable. You know, the whole let's base our entire economy on a completely speculative asset that's backed by nothing. Oh my God, genius. He's the best. I cannot wait until he's prime minister. Okay. Nuclear power for energy independence. All right, he wants more nuclear power. That's not crazy. Stronger future. This seems to be nonsense. Oh my God, look at the fucking AI. Ministry of Future. Blockstry of Future. He wants to create a Ministry of Future. Tasked with long-term planning and innovation, it will focus on identifying and preparing for future challenges like demographic shifts. That the government already does that, dude. That's why they do a census. Ministry of Future. Okay, that's pretty much the end of it. But what do you think? How much do you look forward to Andrew Tate being the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Let me know which of his amazing policy planks you think is most exciting, and we'll definitely be watching his meteoric political rise and following it in the months and years to come. So, thank you for watching and joining in this journey, and later.